choose a FIFO. No, 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 no. Yeah, two soldiers. Um, one fine day in the middle of the night, two dead soldiers got up to fight. Back to back, they faced each other, drew their swords, and shot each other.
Wait, what?
A deaf policeman heard the noise and came and shot the two dead boys. If you
What's
don't
this
believe
from?
this, I don't know. If you don't believe the story is true, ask the blind man. He saw it too.
It's a weird thing that's been going around for years and years.
I think I got it from Girl Scouts.
What?
I don't know. I heard it at summer camp.
I guess Tony was in the Girl Scouts.
My sister was. The Boy Scouts screwed me over via my mom because she found out she would have to take me places. And so I couldn't be a Boy Scout thanks to my mom, who didn't want to have anything to do with having to do anything. So, but my sister was in the Girl Scouts because somebody else came and got her and brought her places. So my sister, feeling bad for me, would come and teach me all the things, the rhymes and shit that the Girl Scouts learned. Because occasionally the bitch, my sister, was nice to me.
I mean, it's siblings.
Okay, let's do this. There are watermarks on this map that say Roll20 in the back because I'm not supposed to have it because I downloaded it. Roll20 will kick me or whatever. No, they won't. Because I've done this 100 times. I'm paying them. Anyway, welcome to the ruined square.
I see Devin's
Challen.
eyeball.
So we are standing. So we're standing around the sewer grate that we just came out of. Yes.
I'm gonna say that's the sewer grate. It's more like a fountain in this map, but yes.
Okay. So we've discussed with the guards like the whole thing about it being the 6 weeks.
We didn't say it. We didn't say a damn.
No, we ended at it's. You guys have been down there for 6 weeks, and we ended at that cliffhanger. No discussion has been had.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this guy in, and this guy in as the guards.
Then at that point, I guess I would ask if they know who it was that attacked. Where did the attack come from?
Strange dark-skinned dwarves known as Duergar,
Thought so.
flying the flag of the enemy.
Thought so. Okay. And how long ago did this happen?
About the initial attack happened about 4 weeks ago. The city held for a short amount of time. Really only held for about a week. But as a siege does, eventually, mathematically, a siege is going to succeed. And it did. Not only did they come from outside the city, but they also came from various places inside the city.
Okay. I would I
Have
would
there
say
been any other attacks in other places?
No.
Well, that's lucky.
That's good.
that's very lucky. Okay. So
So
at
then
this point, I
maps we-
guess
So then the maps we have might be useful.
right.
Better contact the wizard.
exactly. So at this point, I guess I would ask if they can escort my friend 1092. He's unarmored. We had left his equipment behind to be worked on, and I'm hoping that it may still be inside of the shop. If you can help him locate it, it might not look the same anymore from the outside.
That has been taken care of.
Say what now?
It's been
Okay.
taken care of.
How so?
The smithy fled
Okay.
rapidly through magic, bringing half of his shop and a bunch of refugees with him to the capital.
So is his armor in the capital now?
No, it's in the barracks in a locked chest.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay then.
In which case, if you would kindly escort my friend to the barracks to retrieve his gear, we can see if there's anything that we can do to help help the citizens recover from this siege. Before we
There are
turn
no
to run away.
citizens. Those who did not flee are dead. And to be honest, we don't know what side you're on. You left 6 weeks ago. There was a siege. You did not help. And now you emerge, a group of adventurers, looters as far as we're concerned, scavengers as adventurers are. So we have been told to come here and escort you to the barracks. Essentially, you're under arrest.
Would it help if we said that we knew Balthus?
You can say it all you want.
Oh boy.
Think we're gonna need our wizard friend.
This is my last resort. Somebody's listening to music.
Alrighty then. Um.
So then we'll contact the wizard, ask him to show
We
up.
might want to. We might want to follow them first.
Yes. We need to get 1092's gear back anyway, so we'd be heading to the barracks one way or the other. But we need to have the wizard at least confirm our story for us, and we can pass off the information to him at the same time.
Are you going to attempt to call him?
After
Realize they're
following-
trying to put us under arrest, right? If we get locked up, how are we supposed to call him?
travel with them to the barracks, let them know that we are contacting Balthus, and they can observe, and then he can speak with them from there.
We can go
So-
peacefully, but not willing to be tied up.
Right.
Without having a choice in the matter, several other guards show up,
Right.
mainly because you haven't moved or agreed to move quietly. at least in character.
No, we were saying we're gonna go with them to the barracks. We're just gonna
Right, but
contact Balthus
you
after
guys,
getting there.
I'm not. I'm not. You don't. Right now, you're discussing it, and it sounds like you're discussing it as, Devin, not Ricallo. So the guards don't know your plan because you're not discussing it in character.
Okay, we are going with them to the barracks, and we are going to discuss with Balthus once getting there.
Are you saying that in character?
No, I'm saying we're following them.
Well, we need to
to
confirm that.
the
You need to tell the
barracks.
guards that.
Yeah,
That okay, we are following you to the barracks. We are walking
There you
behind
go.
you. We are going.
Well, you're walking along them. There's more of them show up, and they kind of usher you in between them. So there's guys to the side of you, the front and the back. Role-playing game. Role play. So the configuration is a little bit like this. Actually, this guy needs to be out more. That's one of you. That's one of you. So they're keeping you somewhat separate, but at the same time together. Something like that. And you're not shackled or anything. Obviously, your weapons are confiscated, and you're taken to a. There's a large building that has collapsed, and the pieces have been moved. And there is a temporary wooden structure that's been placed there. It's a single-story, basic wooden structure. No windows. I mean, the boards aren't even flush. They're like this. You know, it's not meant to keep out the elements. It's just meant to be there. They take you in, and there are metal poles banged into the ground, where you see some Duragar chained to them. And they have 4 guards apiece on them. You're brought in, and you're brought to the back of the building where there's a sort of like straw bedding and stuff kind of strewn around, where there are soldiers. There's no furniture here, save for 1 chair and 1 desk, at which is sitting an obvious captain. A very tall, very well-built female, over 6 feet tall, armored to the teeth, but not in full plate. She's armored so that she can move around. So sort of a like a half plate, half leather type deal. And she stands up, and she's got leather gloves on that have plating on the back of the palm and finger plating. But the palm and underside of the fingers are all leather, so that she can, do that. Both hands are leaning up against the table, desk type of thing. Okay. She says, so, what'd you tell them?
Who's she
Who's
talking
she
to?
speaking to?
Speaking
to
to
the whole
us,
group.
speaking to the guards.
You guys are set in a line. You have no weapons. Your armor is kept because they don't really need to take that off. Those of you who have flying brooms, those are also confiscated. Any magic users, your component pouch is taken. These guys are not stupid. They know what you are. They know what you can do, and they've basically removed your ability to do them, with the exception of, various skills. They can't take away your ability to look at something. I mean, they can blindfold you, but they're not doing that.
So we will relay to them exactly what we told the guards. We just came up. We don't know how much time has passed. We got told that it was 6 weeks, and then we were brought here. We went down chasing after some thieves and found a camp of that had been abandoned. We had only gone in search of a thieves guild that was rumored to be in town, but uncovered a
Dwarven
possible
excavations.
military camp by some Dwerger, we believe.
And then I add, but we didn't realize we've been down there that long. To us, it only seemed like a few hours.
I mean, it's not that it seemed; it's that it only a few hours passed for us,
Right.
due to time magic.
We believe.
As far as we're aware, yeah. Will we be permitted to contact the wizard who may vouch for us?
What
We
wizard are you talking about? I see a wizard right in front of me.
Balthus, the head wizard for the king. I also need to pass off information to him.
I'm not going to let you cast any message. Because you could tell me that it's to Balthus, and you could really
If you would prefer, you can have one of your casters contact Balthus on our behalf.
She looks at one of the other guards. The guard shrugs. She looks back at you and she says, "Unfortunately, we don't have any casters in our company. We are a company of foot soldiers. We are here to scavenge."
If you would permit, then I will step away from the rest of the group and contact him while under guard. Is that permissible?
I tell you what.
Do we still have our letter from the king to prove that we work for the king? Or did he take
no
that
longer
back?
work for the king.
Yeah, we no longer work for the king. And also, here's a question: do we have any evidence that we were down there, or what if we might have?
Yes.
We brought all the evidence back up with us, the maps and everything.
Right. But that doesn't exactly help us, considering the fact that they think that we were working for the Dwerger.
Right.
Plus, I'm reluctant to hand those over to anyone other than Balthus.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
So, Tony, the suggestion about me stepping away from the rest of the party so that they can observe me away from everybody else, contact Balthus.
I tell you what. And she waves a hand, and several guards grab Zyra.
Of course.
They bring her over to the side of the building and chain her arms up and out to the side.
Wait, what?
Chain her legs out to the side, so she's kind of like in a jumping jack type of deal. And then 5 or 6 of them lower crossbows loaded at her. She says, "Summon who you will. If anyone but Balthus shows up, she dies. And you come to my desk. You'll do the summoning from here."
That's fine. Balthus is the only person that I need to speak with at the moment.
When you move forward, behind you, several other people line up and point crossbows at your friends. "An addendum to the deal," she says. "If anyone but Balthus shows up, they all die."
Again, That's fine. Baltus is the only person I need to speak with.
How are you going to summon them?
The same way that we have in the past. We send a message, he shows up on his own.
Using sending?
Out of character, I honestly don't remember how it was
I
that
thought we had a
we
note
Tablet, I
You
think.
have a notepad of like pieces of, it almost looked like a checkbook,
Oh, okay.
and
Yep, I remember.
it's magic paper.
Yep. So I would show him that, and I guess ask for a pen. I don't believe that
Yes, I know.
he
She
would have
points
left
to
that with us.
she points to an inkwell and a quill that's on the table.
Okay. So then I would write out to Balthus.
What language are you writing in?
Elvish.
Okay, she stops you and grabs your wrist.
Why, Devin? Why?
Because
She
that's my
says-
natural language.
But
and
he.
she rips the paper off and tears it up, throws it down, and says, "Basic." I
Okay,
need to
fine.
know what you're saying.
In
And she lets you
common, in common, then I will write out, Balthus, can you please come to the town of Chalum? We have information regarding the attacks that have happened on Shalom by the Dwergar, and a possible attack happening on multiple other cities around the area. We need an explanation from you, if you would deign so kindly. I don't know, something along those lines.
You send that off with her approval. She reads it first, and a few minutes pass, and a very angry wizard appears out of a black purple portal that opens up and says, "Me explain, me explain. Look at the predicament you've gotten yourself in. Why am I explaining? I mean, look at Zyra. That's not dignified." And he goes over and he just points his finger at each of the chains and they release. And Zyra, because you're kind of uncomfortably in a starfish position, you practically fall down to your knees and he holds you up just with like hold person magic and rights you. And then he turns around and he looks at the guard captain and he snaps his fingers and you guys have your weapons. And then he goes up and he stands next to her, spins towards you all, and says, "Confound it, you bungled it again. This time it cost you a city. The last time it cost you half a staff."
Apologies, Balthus. We were not aware of the time trap. We did gather several pieces of valuable information to hand off to you regarding attacks, but we fear that some of it may have been too late. We were not aware of a time spell below the city.
He seems to try to calm himself. And he says, "Detect magic? Did anyone?"
I believe I believe I was detecting magic when we were downstairs, like downstairs in the dwarven mine area.
But you didn't use the spell as you were descending.
Right. I didn't use it as we were going down the staircase, but I did use it while we were up in the in the place with like the pitfalls, and I used it while we were downstairs in the place because I was looking at like the different drawers and stuff, but I didn't use it while we were in the staircase.
He smacks his hand on the desk and he looks at the town guard captain and he says, "Is this where magic users are going these days? Word of caution. Stairs. They are the most trapped thing ever. I don't use them anymore. They're so trapped. The most basic of which is to have the staircase go like that and you slide down into a pit.
Hey, at least we weren't stupid jumping down a hole like Dane.
Yeah, Dane kind of dove down a hole with a chair.
And
He was
took
sitting on a
damage.
chair and he dove down a hole.
No, somebody else was sitting on a chair and it went down a hole, so Dane dove down the hole after him.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
And that would be the bandits you were going after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were only pursuing a thieves guild in the area when we stumbled upon this Dwerger incursion.
I don't know how the thieves didn't get affected by it in the slightest.
I
They
think it,
did. That's how they escaped us.
They must have.
Because they got
activated
down there
that
before
thing.
us.
Yeah.
right. I think it's kind of a thing that like it drops people through the two trapdoor things, and that activates the trap immediately after those people drop through, kind of idea.
So like the few
And-
minutes behind them that we were was actually probably like a whole
Yeah.
week's time in the trap.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been no catching them.
But at this point in time, you said that we got our gear back, so I will I'll offer my bag of holding to Balthus. The information that I referred to earlier is inside of here.
I will withdraw the maps detailing the offensive and defensive plans of, I don't know, Kai and Them and Funwall from my pack and hand them to Balthus.
And relay the information that we gathered regarding the defensive plans for Kai rather than offensive plans, and mention that we think that they may be basing from there or planning to base from there.
You also, if I didn't mention it, I thought I did, but you should also have plans for the Moors.
Okay. Then, oh, yeah, right. Okay. I see that note. Yeah. Thank you. I also hand
Yeah.
over those.
And the contracts as well.
Yeah, the contract's on their heads.
A contract out for my brother. And he just starts belly laughing. Just starts belly laughing. And he says, I would like to see the upstart who attempts that one. Who knows? My
chuckle.
brother might help him.
I chuckle and say, I'd like to see that one too.
He says, don't worry about the Moors. The Moors are well cared for. Dirk has taken care of that. Oh, by the way,
Do all
If
the
you see
other
a-
cities have similar sewage systems underneath? Because my worry is that if there's already a army base below this one, if there's possibly army bases below all of the cities, and they could just spring up inside any of them at any time.
And being that we are dealing with Dwergar, it is a definite possibility.
So we're dealing with
from
Funwall,
experience.
Fullbill, and Them, and Kai.
Kai more of a reverse position.
Allied, potentially.
Yeah.
Or captured.
Kai is a small but old city. Them is strange. Fullbill is full of drunkards. Funwall is your basic run-of-the-mill village. Why Kai? Why defend Kai?
They seemed to want to build a dome over it.
Yes, I see. Why
We
build
also-
a dome? Magic
also-
will do that.
Yeah. We also found mechanical creations down there.
Which Dane
Yes.
destroyed.
Well, he attempted to destroy some of them. I don't know if he destroyed all of them.
I think he did.
Yes, that would be the dark gnomes. Crazy little things, but very efficient. Despite your many errors, you're still useful to me. We still need the staves, all of them. But I have a side mission for you.
And that would be.
Go to Kai. See if you can gather information without getting caught. And then start a fire somewhere and leave.
Hmm.
Yeah, start a
Fire will be the easy part.
Hang on. Start a fire before or after knowing whether or not this place is controlled by the enemy?
Either way.
Okay.
Gather
And
information and set fire to a town. Got it.
You notice that it definitely is Baltus, but you notice a darkness to his look. Without having to roll insight, you all gather very frighteningly that as far as Baltus is concerned, Kai is too big a risk, one way or the other, at this point. And he wants it gone.
Okay.
He says, start a fire somewhere and I'll do the rest. And then he hands you it looks like a candle or a stick of dynamite. He says, plant these at various places, light them, and then run.
Interesting. Okay.
Magical fire bombs. How fun.
And then he hands you another piece of paper, a scroll, and he said, this will create a portal. It is only a few miles. You could get to Funwall from Kai with this portal, or Fullbill, or somewhere in the wilderness. You could get to the Break River. But what you need to do is when you open it, you need to call where you are going. So let's just say, for example, you're in a building and you want to go to the street. You open the scroll and you say, to the street portal. And it will take you where you want to go. It only lasts once. I suggest you use it as soon as you've lit the last one of these. Don't worry about the innocents. There's nothing we can do for them, he says. And then he just starts walking away. He just starts walking towards the door of the barracks. And as he walks, he waves his hand in the air. And you see a sort of green-yellow mist surround each of the Duragar. And they kind of insta-mummify.
Ooh.
Like all the liquid in their body is simply evaporated.
Gross.
They were there. They were captured. I gave that in the description when you walked in. And they died. They just, all of them. And he turns around and he looks at you. And he said, confounded wars, wasteful. Collateral damage is collateral damage. Now, out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Remember your character's morals, each of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. So basically, you have been ordered to do something that you may be dead set against. Um,
Is he gone?
he leaves.
Okay.
Another purple black portal opens, and he walks partway through it, and he turns to you and he just says, "I'm sorry. It's just what has to be done," and walks through the portal.
So, Balthus
Okay.
seems fun.
Yeah. So,
Well, let's go burn a city.
I guess we know where 1092 stands.
I'm not gonna say
I'm
anything until
screwed.
after we
I'm
leave the
neutral.
company of the footmen that were around.
Hey guys, want to help us burn down a city?
They look at you and they say, "We'll go there and clean up after you."
Fair enough.
And the captain says, "Look, I think the reason he doesn't want you to worry about the civilians is because some of them might talk. If you tell them to get out and there's mass hysteria, then obviously the bad guys are gonna be onto you, and they'll flee before you can get the job done."
Which is why he said collateral damage.
Yeah.
Seems like he's considered all those other southern cities acceptable losses too.
He didn't say anything about those. He just wants you to take out Kai.
Oh, I know. Just the way he spoke about them, though, calling them full of drunkards and.
Right. Yeah.
Dang it! I wish Dane was here to play his part, cause I feel like he'd have something to say about this.
Someone message him. Dang.
Oh,
He'll be back.
Cause I feel like
I-
this goes against his character, and I personally, my character is not gonna be okay with this. Like, if I take one step inside of that village or town and I see one child, I'm walking right back out. I'm not blowing up kids.
1092 will just get the job done.
I'll let you
You
back.
guys have fun.
Yeah, we're not
Sure.
getting. The cleric is not helping us. with
Yeah,
this
I'm
one.
not helping with this one. I'm not
Not
blowing
the
up innocent
slightest.
people. There's no way.
Couldn't
Yeah.
tell what your mood was.
whereas Ricalo is more familiar with the idea of collateral damage.
Okay, sorry,
Not
I had
gleefully
to.
looking forward to this, though.
Not gleefully, but I've seen it before.
So, what is the group's next move?
Guys,
I'd like to try and find our horses and our cart.
yeah, those
still
were just
around.
outside of town, I believe. Tony, you'll have to confirm for me one way or the other if they'd still be in the area.
There's nothing left of the city or its outskirts.
So
That's what I
would they
figured.
have been relocated to the barracks like our armor did, or
Um,
the
Not that-
horses in the cart?
not that you can tell.
Okay, then I'll confer with the guard that we were being held by, the lady in the armor.
Oh, as soon as Baltus showed up and started giving you your weapons, they backed off.
Right. So I'm going to confer with her though, to find out if our cart is still in the area.
Any horse and cart that was not destroyed by the siege was confiscated to get civilians out. So if it exists, it's in the capital.
Son of a bitch. Heard. All right.
How far is Kai from here?
Let's see. You are in Shalom.
Does this mean I have my armor on me as well? Or
It is by foot.
I believe we're headed to Them next, but depending on which one is further, we could go to Kai first if Them is further away.
think
No, on the map, Them is on the King's Road. Maybe. 2 weeks away. Kai is twice that much.
Okay.
In the same
Kai is
direction?
also not on the road. No, if you look at the map that I sent you, Them is east of Chalum, southeast.
Was
Kai
he?
is very east. Or very south.
Weren't Fender and them like supposed to be swapped or something, or am I remembering that wrong?
I was going to swap Fender with something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Them.
Yeah, Fender and Them are supposed to be
Okay,
swapped.
so yeah, Kai is on the way to Them.
where was
Okay.
that village that I didn't-
Where
Right,
are
right,
we?
1092 wanted to check out
You're
some
in Chalum.
Okay, like
some
right in the middle
dig
then.
site, I believe. 1092, you wanted to check out the dig site that was just outside of
Yeah, but
Fender.
if this is more important, then
Kai
Well-
does seem pressing.
As long as it's along the way, we can make a brief stop.
Is there a
You're in Chalum, which is right next to Shim's Forest.
Right.
South of you is Fullbill.
Yep.
Then directly south of that is Kai.
Right.
And then there's Stonewalt and then Fender.
I needed some sort of lake city thing. Hold on a second, what was it?
It was just outside of Fender.
Yeah, because it is
Fender's the one
was-
that's on the lake.
it was Fort Defender, the last bastion of hope for the Alliance. Then after the war, it became the city of Fender. Then after the city was destroyed, it is now Lake Fender Village.
Ah, okay. Well, that is where I needed to head. But if we have more pressing matters, then we go there first.
Charlie, get out from behind the tree.
I feel like we
There's
could
nothing out
go
there for you.
to Full Bill along the way and see if we can get more horses maybe.
Be a
Oh, there
good
it is.
boy.
I got new dice today. They're all pretty. They're nice metal dice too.
I think we could probably
Did you just fart, you idiot dog?
probably get horses along the way. But we may be able to take some from these guards if they'd be so willing.
I
There
don't
aren't
think
any.
There aren't
All
any
the-
horses in
no,
town.
all the horses were just used to evacuate people.
Okay.
These
well,
are foot soldiers. They've
So
left.
to say
they
they are
were.
They're foot soldiers. They are on foot.
Yeah, they
Not cavalry.
march on foot. They have been left behind to sort of defend what's left, even though there really isn't anything,
Why?
and also to
It's a waste of resources.
clean up.
clean up, scavenge really, scavenge for the war effort.
Well,
So what was Lom's fate? Did he die in his city, or has he escaped?
These guys don't know.
Seriously? Ew.
These guys arrived just after the siege. The city was defended by its people and the King's Guard that were there at the time.
Now, my question is, would this be the same group that we encountered previously that was cleaning up the battlefield?
No, those guys don't. They are not coming into this town. because the siege is still fresh, and basically they're afraid that they'll come back. That's why this garrison is here.
Oh, they do have a base down below, so they might.
Speaking of which, can we like relay anything for how to get down there so that they can figure out
Why? So they can get stuck in the time trap too?
I mean, no, looking at like a blockade of some kind, because there's probably tunnels after that labyrinth, so that the Dwergar can get into that area. Because I
They're
assume
blocking.
they.
They're blocking all the sewer entrances.
Okay.
They're concreting them over.
That's
Okay.
good.
Good enough.
I mean, I wonder if there was anything usable down there that they could have used, but
They don't care.
nope.
Not worth the
There's
risk.
a time. There's a time trap down there. They don't want to trip it. They don't want to be a part of it.
Fair enough.
They go down for food and come back, and everything's even more decomposed.
So, what was the plan? Are we going straight? We're going to Full Bill and then Kai.
Guess so.
Yeah, because we had been planning to go to Them next, but if Kai is along the way, then yes, we'd be heading
Yep.
south along that way.
Okay.
Where's the other one on the way?
Full Bill is directly is under Chalum, and then by
So, Full Bill,
about
Chalum,
4 weeks, and then Kai is about 4.5 to 5 weeks out of Full Bill, and then Fender is about 4 weeks out of Kai on foot. You can cut that in half with a horse and cart.
Which we don't have for right now. We'll have to look at picking up another horse and buggy somewhere along the way, but for now, yeah.
Yeah, this is a globe-trotting adventure.
So wait, we're going to wait. Them is now all the way down where Fender is, and Fender is all the way up there.
Yes, I needed to move Fender and Them because they were put in the wrong place on the map.
So I'll have to come back for Fender because that's out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, I believe we'd be heading out then, unless these guards can provide us with any extra information or any kind of equipment to make our travels easier.
I don't think they have anything.
They have nothing but the swords on their backs.
Right. So then we'd be making our way out.
From Chalum to Full Bill is a 4-week walk. You can take the King's Road out halfway between Chalum and Fender and then drop south. That'll make it a little easier. Getting about halfway to Fender on the King's Road, you're about 2 weeks into your journey when you get there.
Well, can we purchase horses in? I believe you said Fauville was the next town over.
Full Bill, yes, but you're not there yet. You're taking the King's Road between Chalum and Fender, which was once where Them was.
Right.
Or which is where Them was. And then you're dropping to Full Bill from halfway between Chalum and Fender. When you get to that halfway point, there is a guard post. King's Guard. And basically they're just checking carts, checking people. They notice you as a adventuring group and basically just wave you on But when you turn off to take the grassy plain from the road to Fullbill, you're suddenly halted. There's a call from behind you, from the gentleman in charge. And he says, what is your destination, friend?
Our destination is Fullbill.
Fullbill. Why?
Making our way south. Fullbill was the next town along the way. Hoping to purchase some horses.
Why would you be heading south?
Looking
Just
for
looking
work.
for work.
Ah,
Do you know of anything in the area? Or have horses for us to purchase so that we can get along our way faster?
unfortunately, the horses I have are strictly from my men. I will say that Fullbill has one street. Fullbill is like your old serial westerns where there's one road and there's buildings along that one main street on either side. And it is a drunkard village. Anything you might try to buy there is going to be insanely overpriced. And one of the king's guard tells you that you're better off rolling in, grabbing the horses, and running out amongst crossbow bolts fired by drunkards.
He just told us we're better off stealing horses.
Most of them are stolen anyway, he says.
Good to know.
He says the city is very much, or the village, because it's just one road, not even a village, is, well, let's just say almost every building could be a brothel.
Oh my word.
There is a bank. It's run by a thief.
Of course.
A literal, hang on, a literal thief or a, I'm calling him a thief because he's running a bank and he's probably skimming some off the top.
Oh no. No. The bank is run by a thief.
Okay.
The sheriff is a murderer. Basically, if you break one of his laws, he just kills you. And he doesn't have many laws.
No, let me ask you, is this the only town like this, or are a lot of the towns down south like this?
Fullbill is the only one.
Okay.
Fender is a beautiful lake town. Very much a place where one goes to vacation.
This is my destination.
Kai is a technological marvel. Designed by gnomes, built by humans. Stonewalt is, designed by dwarves, built by humans. It is, as it says, stone. It is Stonewalt. One could say an above-ground playground for dwarves, only there aren't any dwarves there. And then there's Them. Them is an interesting place. I say interesting because the only way to describe Them is, well, it's Them. It is the southernmost of the king's territory, and it is on the frontier.
What happens in them stays in them?
Generally speaking, what happens in Fullbill stays in Fullbill. What happens in Them, nobody cares. Them is a complete village. There is the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the seamstress, and the shoemaker, and all of that. very much your average village. It's just the last one south. So it's rather interesting. Many creatures live there.
Creatures or
Humanoid creatures,
Races.
many races, many races. Yes. You go to them to live if you want to live on the frontier.
Little House on the Prairie.
Kinda, yeah. You go to Full Bill to live if you don't want anyone to know you. You go to Kai to live if you want to, well, live mechanically.
Sounds like your kind of place, 1092.
And you go to
He'll be looking
Stonewalt.
around.
You go to Stonewalt if you want to live like a dwarf but see the sun.
Okay.
I know Dwayne's not here, but I'm gonna nudge him anyways.
And then there's Funwall, which is Funwall is an average village. Yeah, nothing much to speak of. And the one I can't read, just under Shim's Forest, Eriswar, whatever it is. Dog, if you keep biting me, so help me, I'm gonna bite you back.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
can't read that one either.
Is frequented by Fae, but mostly a human town. Another average human town, like many of them.
Okay.
Oh, I do have a standing note from the king about going south.
saying
Sundel. Do not go there.
Where's that?
Sundell?
Sundel is over in the mountains.
Oh, I see it.
Southern mountains.
I see it. In the west.
And
Yeah.
do you have any other information regarding why?
Only that it is a very dangerous place. Ow, dog. That hurt a lot. Easy. We are told that there are demons and fiends that are frequenting Sundel. They may have even taken it over.
Okay. No plans to go there.
I was thinking the opposite, but okay.
Yeah, me too.
You guys have death wishes.
Oh, no, I just want to see him get in trouble.
If you straddle
Don't have
my
to go
arm
there to
one
do
more
that.
time- Stupid dog. Also, Mirak, Tag, and Kalos. The volcanoes,
Mm-hmm.
they are supposed to be dormant. There is
But-
smoke from Tag,
Oh.
the centermost.
Awesome.
Problematic. Don't we have to go down there soon?
Yeah, there's a staff down there. Last scene.
Isn't that over?
The one that was last seen is over. There's like a little
Big
circle.
giant skeleton.
It's above the Tyron Pass, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so we might
Staff
be
of Necrom.
might be somewhat okay.
Yeah, it's a ways away from the volcano.
Doesn't mean, being somewhat near.
We might have to go by Sondel though.
Your easiest way to do that, says the guard, would be to go through Berlin, north of Sundel,
Okay.
and travel the towns. You could go through the wilderness from Berlin to the burial grounds, but your best shot is to go from Berlin to the gnomish village of Hanschik, and then to the halfling village of Huggle, and then travel the road south.
I like going through villages anyway. That's how we pick up work along the way.
You can pick up work along the way and provisions. Also, you'll avoid Sundel. Berlin is very well guarded against Sundel right now because of the rumors. The Tyron Pass,
What rumors?
the demons and fiends I spoke of.
Ah,
That
okay.
you wanted to go check out.
Okay.
The Tyron Pass, because of the burial grounds, is being heavily guarded. Although I don't know who would dare try and take over the burial grounds. It's a very frightening place.
Hmm.
But that is my advice.
Okay. Well, let's go steal some horses.
He says, safe journey.
Thank you.
Sneak in, grab the horses, sneak out.
Thank you for the info.
The barracks is at the northern end. The barracks, the stables, is at the northern end of town.
Which is the way we'd come in, right?
Yeah, the way you'd come in.
Okay.
And then you can just quite literally go, he says, around either side. Because there's no other buildings besides the ones built on either side of that road.
Okay.
People spend their money there and make their money there. Everybody that lives there works there, and they don't work legitimately. Although there is a casino there that's quite fun.
There's a casino in the one road town.
yeah.
Hello?
Okay then.
Oh, they will literally steal all your money from you, but it's fun.
Fun to
Just
lose
go
your
there
money.
broke. Go there broke. Bring enough money to lose, and they'll leave you alone. But they might take your horse or your shoes.
The horse that we're gonna steal from them anyway.
Right.
Let's keep a close eye on Ricala while we're there, shall we?
Yeah, let's make sure he don't try to sneak in there.
Taking the road, the wilderness south. Charlie, stop biting me. I will bite you back. I can pet you without getting bitten. Dumb dog. Look, see? We have friends, see?
You're too easily amused by that slinky, Grandius.
That's not Grandius.
And why is he on Grandius's camera?
Oh.
I
I may or
see
may
his
not be
camera.
playing with a slinky as well, so.
Seriously?
I'm
me
playing with a
refresh.
slinky as
Amazing.
well currently.
Okay.
What? Slinkies are fun.
They're only interesting to me if they're going downstairs.
I don't have 1092 on camera.
No, I don't.
Nor do I.
I don't have a camera.
He's
Yeah,
never had
Grandius
one.
does, and that's why she said Grandius and Slinky.
Yeah, but I was playing with a slinky at the time, so.
Oh, let's say that's confusing me, isn't it? Because I'm looking at Grandius. Unless you guys changed characters on me.
So, 2 weeks south, the weather is sporadic throughout the weeks. You have a couple of nice days, couple of cloudy days, couple of rainy days. One day there's high wind, but no other weather. You come to, I guess you could call it a village. You could probably call it a town-ish.
Ish.
Shantytown?
But yeah, it's been established for a while, and it is one of the king's places, although no king's guard it. You come to the place in the early morning, like early. I say like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's early morning.
After camping and traveling, and you notice that there's nobody anywhere.
Like, it doesn't look as if it's inhabited, or just everybody's nursing.
It looks like
hangovers?
it definitely looks inhabited. It's just there's none of the shops are open.
We're all hungover.
There are a few people sleeping on the street.
See?
Um,
Too rowdy
there
last night.
are-
Lovely.
you know, the front sort of porch-like area of most places has 2 or 3 people on it. There's one person sleeping in an awning. And when you get to the stables, there is a stableman and a stable boy. The stable boy is in a hammock, stretched out in one of the horse stalls that's empty. And the stableman is sitting in a chair, slumped over, and on the floor next to him is one of those big pottery jugs that you see in westerns with the 3 X's in the front.
The moonshine.
Yeah.
I'm not helping, by the way.
What
Stealing is
what
wrong.
time of day is it? Like, is it like early morning?
Early in the morning.
Okay.
Like 9 a.m. I gotta get a new drink, but I gotta take my headphones off. It's because I didn't bring my speakers out. will
Snack
be
break,
back in
everybody
half a
go
second.
get refreshments quick.
He's going to get
Yeah,
his.
man, okay, run!
Everybody
He's
refill.
going to get his jug with the 3 skulls on it.
So I could probably reassure the horses before we try and steal them.
Well, we don't have the cleric's help because the cleric thinks this is wrong, but
Yeah.
Well, you know.
what if I told you that they were stolen wheat? No, just straight up no.
There's no excuse. Stealing is wrong.
That sounds awfully lawful good of you.
I've been murdering people. I gotta get, some recognition from my god and not lose my power.
Look out, Bubby.
But you've been murdering bad people.
Let me get you some food
And-
too, dog.
Murder
You
is
hungry,
not
puppy?
right.
What did I do
I
with
thought
your
Aloy
bag?
was okay
Probably
with
put it over
murder.
here. Yep, I did. Ugh. Yo, want some food? I need more water too. Daddy fix.
Okay.
Eat it. Now let me freshen that water up for you, pup. And a jug over here somewhere. Water in it. Water! Water for the doggy. That's my good boy. Drink up, me Bubby. Drink up. Oh.
Bubby. Like would be instead of. Anyway.
Okay. So, how are we gonna do it? What's our plan?
I mean, I could try and reassure the horses before we abscond with.
The horses?
How many horses are in the stables?
Good point.
Oh, there's a couple dozen. It's a big place. Almost everyone in town owns at least one. Well, owns.
Okay.
Has.
Next question. Who else besides me had a flying broom? I can't remember.
Grandius.
Can 1092 ride a broom?
Yes, he can ride it, but he can't fly with it. He's too heavy.
Because I think, didn't we determine Grandius can't ride a horse? I mean, 1092 not ride a horse because he's too heavy.
Right.
He could probably ride a draft horse, but what's the point?
But he can't fly the flying broom.
No, he's too big for that.
So pretty much 1092 is going to have to walk.
That's what I do anyways. I don't really ride in. I never
Yeah.
rode in the cart.
Yeah, he would sometimes ride in the cart with me, but that was about it.
So we
Alright.
need 3 horses?
Mostly he was walking.
Actually, yeah, 3, because me and Grandius can ride brooms.
So we're Callow, Victor, and
Dane.
Dane.
Where I don't suffer from fatigue, I just trot along. Not trot, but jog along.
No, I definitely want to see you trot.
Can we see
Yeah,
him
no.
gallop?
There are carts available.
I
That
was
would
just
be
wondering that.
highly
Yeah, but I
amusing
feel
to
like
me.
stealing a cart without waking anybody is gonna be a little more difficult to do.
You have sleep.
I feel like where we only need 3 horses, just a couple of us should go in and try to do it. So it's less likely to wake somebody up. I think Victor should be one of them because he has probably good animal handling.
For D&D relative noobs, a group only goes as fast as its slowest player. So my advice as DM is get a cart. And the reason I advise getting a cart is because 1092.
Damn it, 1092.
Although he doesn't suffer fatigue, he
Can't move as
he
fast.
can't move quickly. So if all of you guys are on horses, you can trot and occasionally gallop. And that's going to go 4 times faster than 1092 could ever go.
Be like, run, you bastard.
Quick,
So
someone hit me with a speed potion or something.
Unless he finds a gnome who knows how to make a jetpack.
Hey, we're
Sick.
gonna pass one of those technological places.
So, do a couple of us want to rustle up the cart while the rest of us grab a horse?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll go be with the cart because I could probably pull it a ways from the stable.
Yeah, I'll go in with Victor and
Sure.
get the horses.
Okay.
I'll go with
Recall
1090. I'll go with 1092 to defend. If he's going to be pulling, he's not going to be able to use his hands, so he's going to need somebody to back him up.
And Grandius has already stated that he is not going to take part in this.
Right.
Which he doesn't need to because he's got a broom. Right. And Dane's just doing whatever Dane's doing.
Drinking from his helmet.
So, before we go in, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals, but as a ritual. So, it'll take 10 minutes
Okay?
plus an action.
And,
Yep.
it
10
won't,
minutes.
and it won't require you to expend the spell slot for it.
Yeah, that's the point.
Grandius, you get what is called a inspiration, a point of inspiration for sticking to character alignment and character ideals. So that doesn't mean the rest of you aren't.
Jazz, can't hear you.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself because I was chewing. I just realized I could do something before we do anything. I'm gonna cast something. Why do I not have a freaking macro for it?
Is it Bardic Inspiration?
It is blindness, deafness. I want to cast deafness. That way they're not going to be able to hear anything to wake them up.
Clever.
Okay, it's either blindness or deafness.
Yep, we'll do deafness. That way they can't hear anything and it won't wake them. Well, at least affect the 2 that are in the stable.
Okay, at what level are you casting this?
2. Sorry, chewing.
Okay. So I make a Constitution saving throw for.
But they would be asleep, so would it be at disadvantage?
Good point.
Allow the DM to DM. I got this. I have to do this for the stable boy and the stable master.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that second one.
What is your spell cast DC?
I don't know. How do I find that?
It's at the top of your character sheet.
Under spells.
Under spells. Oh, 13.
Okay, so he fails because the 3 is the one I'm taking. And he fails.
Yay.
So they are effectively deaf.
Yay.
Please tell me that's not a permanent spell.
No.
No, it's a time thing.
At the end of each of their turns, they get to make a new saving throw.
So let's do this quickly.
So, I'm just going to go along the line that I see at the bottom. So I'm going to go Zyra, Ricalo, 1092, Victor. Grandius, I'll throw you in there just to see what you're doing, even though you're not a part of the stealing.
I could just see him around the outskirts waiting, hovering around on his broom.
So, Zyra, what are you doing? What is your first move? After you cast... you cast the spell, so let's go with Ricalo.
Yep.
All right, well, I believe I'd be going off to find the cart with 1092.
There are 3 different types of cart type things.
Okay.
There is a cart, which is usually pulled by a pony or a mule. And it holds 1092 could sit in it, but that's about it.
No, we'd be looking for...
There is a full cart, which is a full-wheeled, uncovered, single-horse wagon, basically, with a driver's seat and plenty of cargo room. And there is the western covered wagon, which can be pulled by 1 or 2 horses.
Which I believe is what we had previously.
Yes,
it's what you had previously, but it is bigger and harder to move.
Right. I think I'd suggest to the party we take the uncovered one for now, make it to another town, sell it in exchange for a covered wagon.
I think you may be off on your own at this point, but I'm not sure. You and 1092.
They are.
Yeah, I'm with.
Okay,
I'm with
I'll suggest that to 1092. Then.
How much did we actually carry in the cart? There's a question.
He said that there's plenty of cargo space.
It could carry you plus you plus you plus you.
Alrighty, that should be fine then.
It requires 1 horse to pull it if its cargo is not that heavy.
Okay.
Not that heavy on 1092, you'd be fine if it... 1 horse could carry 2 of you in a cart. Charlie. He has his little food, the little, they call them kibbles, even though it's not the kibble brand. He has his little dry food. He takes 1 bit out of his bowl and starts throwing it up in the air and trying to catch it. This is a game he has taught himself. Did you lose it under the couch? Stupid dog. I'll be right back. lose your kibble. There it is. See? Daddy fix. Daddy loves you very much. Go away. Yeah, something I used to say to you all the time. Austin all the time. Austin too. I love you very much. Go away. Okay.
Yep. I believe yes, we would be looking at the one that's uncovered for now.
Yep. Grandius, what are you up to? Are you watching? Are you weaving? Are you just sitting there twiddling thumbs?
I'm gonna wanna go to like the outskirts of the town because they went in and it's small enough that I can just wait outside the town.
Yep.
If there's nobody around, I want to sort of see if I can't talk to anything up there and just be like, is it even remotely okay if I just go over and burn a town down with a bunch of innocents for the greater good?
Time seems to stop for a moment. Like one guy who's in the middle of town who's sleeping in the street stands up, stretches, staggers, and goes to fall down, and he stops mid-fall. To you, time seems to stop.
The world.
For just him?
For just him. And things go a little weird. Like when you can see, like, heat distorting your vision?
I think I know where you're going with this.
You see that, and then you find yourself, after a flash, in a white space. You're standing on something. You're not floating. There is something tangible. You just don't see it. You're going into a house that has just white walls and no decorations, no windows. And when you close the door, it is gone. You're in a white space. And you see an angel sort of come out of nowhere and walk towards you. And you know that angels sometimes represent the gods, but they themselves are just a race. They are celestials.
Aasimar.
Yeah, kind of like that. This one comes to you, and he sits down on nothing and gestures for you to sit down.
I'll sit.
On nothing.
You feel a surface underneath you as you sit. But you also don't. Like, there's resistance, but that's about it. He leans forward and puts his elbows on his knees, and he arches his fingers like this, and he says, normally, the gods do not intervene in the wars of men. We don't know what's going on down there. And that frightens us. Because normally we do. There is a shroud surrounding places of evil. Our eyes cannot penetrate this shroud. And he waves his hand across the floor in between where the two of you are sitting, and you see topographically the continent. You cannot see inside Orc country. You've basically been given the eyes of the Celestials. You can see beings in the form of little yellow dots going about their business, doing what they're doing. They're all over the place. You see them in their homes. You see them. You can't see you can't see a naked woman in the shower. That kind of thing. But you see everyone as little yellow dots running around the map, kind of GTA style. When you look at the map and you see all the people, only these are more like heat signatures.
Sun God makes sense.
Right. You cannot see inside Orc country. And you cannot see the volcano, the tag volcano.
The one that was smoking, you
The
said?
one that was smoking, yes. And you cannot see Kai.
That's where we were gonna do it. The burning.
He nods his head and he says, yes. We have been following you. For you seem to be one of the truest followers of Pelor in a long time. Your reluctance to help your friends procure these animals and equipment is kind of the final act that brought you here.
Grandius sort of thinks over that message, just sort of like, just thinking about, sort of nodding his head.
You don't have divine intervention yet, do you?
Nope. That is 5th level,
Yeah,
which is
something like that.
one more.
Yeah, he says, without the divine intervention prayer, I'm not sure how we're going to pull this off. We cannot see Kai, but we know that there are innocents there. Your superiors want you to destroy the city. That is unfortunate. Your superiors want you to destroy the people in it. That is unfortunate. For once in the lives of Celestials, we feel we need to ask you for advice rather than the other way around. And the question is, do we care? Or do we care, or do we leave this to the men? Not like the men versus men and women, but more along the lines of,
Yeah, the civilian
Mankind.
Yeah.
people,
normally
mankind.
normally, as you well know, the gods kind of stay out of it and let the world progress as it does. Even if that involves the mass killing of millions. Only in this case, it'll be hundreds and not millions, but still. The gods usually stay out of it. and only kind of pay attention to the convictions of the people under them, i.e., you. Um, so he's asking your advice on whether or not this is one of those situations where they should just let the world progress as it will, or advise their superiors to even attempt an intervention of some kind.
From what I know, the village or town of Kai is being used as sort of a hideout of the most likely the hideout of the people who have already destroyed one town. And they're planning on destroying many others. So it's either we save the innocence of that town and the evil could survive as well, or we let the needs of the many to be outweigh the needs of the few.
Are you asking that?
I'm sort of
processing.
I'm processing it, but verbally.
Yeah.
I do think that if we do stop the evil through the town of Kai burning, it will stop more cities from fighting and civilians dying. I think so long as no more fall as much as they will in this instance, then it should be fine. If this will stop more people from dying than it would if we let it be, like if we just didn't burn it. Essentially, if we burn it, yes, civilians will die, but I think more people will be saved in the long run.
He sits back in his chair, if there is one. There is definitely resistance on his back. And he stands, kind of suddenly stands up, and he sort of walks across the window of the world, and he places his hand on your shoulder as you're sitting. And he says, based on what you have said, your participation in this will grant you no ill will, nor will it grant you a boon. But the Dawnfather will ask
Sorry.
Will ask for something, not directly. What I mean to say is the Dawnfather asks that when this is done and over with, should you survive, that you build a community somewhere as penance for the community you must destroy.
Bring balance.
This does make sense. Although, I may have to wait a little while on that, considering I still do have to collect the rest of the staff. And
Then, as I say, after all of this is said and done, should you survive,
it will be done.
as you say that, you are back on your broom, back in the same place. You see the staggering man fall. Kind of makes you chuckle. But you are safe in your convictions. You also know that in this instance, the gods are sitting this one out. Whether you feel that is, sad or happy or whatever your emotions are for that is your own, but your participation will not change your alignment. And you get the feeling that that is the same for your group, thanks to your advice. So we'll go from. Go ahead.
Grandius, after all of that sort of thing, he'll just sort of sit on the broom, but sort of try to see if the group is running away or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, wait for them to run, and if they do, he'll just like do a big circle around the city and meet up.
Yep. You're right back at the moment you left. So
Okay.
they have still basically just gone off to do their thing. 1092, you are with Ricalo, and do you agree with his assessment? Are you muted?
Fucking button. Zaria, Zyra, why did you give me your curse?
Hey now.
Good. Yes,
I'm a rock star. Good
I
game
agree
on.
with his assessment. I think the medium cart would do the medium cart would do just fine.
All right, Ricalo and 1092, do me a favor.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes, sir.
What do you need us to
Roll
roll?
stealth with advantage because of deafness.
Alrighty. And can I, at this point, cast invisibility?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Or, no, they're asleep. I kind of want to wait. I don't know. No, I'll wait on the invisibility. Because it wouldn't help me because I can't use it on him, can I?
Wow, Clanker got a 16.
I'm a big planker man, but I'm light on my feet.
Can I use invisibility on somebody else or only myself? I can't remember.
It depends. It might depend on level. I'm not sure, but I have seen wizards cast invisibility on other people.
Still. There
Also, I have a quick question that I never brought up. Does the steel armor make me a little heavier?
I would think so.
A little bit, but not by much.
Okay.
Stealth with advantage. I get a nat 20.
Nice.
I got
A creature. It's a touch. A creature you touch, including yourself.
Okay.
When I think about you, I cut myself. I mean.
Whoa. That's not healthy.
Alright, so 16 and a 21.
And you don't know why, but you're trying to die. You wanna kill yourself. Anyway.
Wow.
La 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 la. That's a guy. He's gonna die. He's going to stab a big guy.
All right, so a 16 and a 21. You guys are pretty darn stealthy. Victor, what are you on about?
I'd like to see if I want to look for the two sort of healthiest, or are the horses all roughly Like, do they seem in good shape, or are some of them?
In spite of the shape of the buildings and the road and the people who live here, the horses are in remarkable shape. These people take very good care of their horses, if not themselves.
That's cool.
All right then.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, Rico.
Well
Oh,
then.
breathe.
I guess I'd like to go up to two of them and sort of try to. I guess I'll apologize for having to meet them like this and remove them from this place, but try and reassure them that we are friends and we'll treat them well and as best we can.
You get the sense that despite how well they're cared for, they don't exactly like carrying these people around.
Smart horses.
Cool.
And that sober people, for the most part, Ricala,
And James.
are going.
He's
to
not
be,
even listening.
Are going to
Who
be a
is
breath of fresh air.
Who isn't listening?
Stop playing Minecraft and pay attention to the game.
I am paying attention.
No, you're not. You would have
I've
had
been
something to
laughing at
say.
everything.
No, you would have had
He
something to
just-
say.
No, I was
Anyway.
allowing him to speak. And
So we'll be a breath of fresh air then.
He just called you a
Yeah,
drunk.
They're happy to go with you. Obviously, you can't take all of them. So the ones you pick are a little happier than the ones you didn't. But again, they're well fed, they're well cared for. So there's a few of them that are like, meh, you or them, whatever. But you and Zyra together, roll me a stealth check with advantage because of deafness.
Dun, 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 dun.
Won't make the metal man look good at this.
18 and 14. Good enough. You managed to slink out the horses and the cart that you need without much
Yay.
trouble at all.
Woohoo!
Grandius, you see your friends come out. 1092 is dragging a cart along with him, and Zyra and Victor are leading horses.
I assume either the horses or the cart comes with the necessary materials to attach the horses to the.
Yeah, you can. All the tackle and whatnot is in the cart. So.
Plus, I guess saddles.
Yeah, saddlery and whatnot. Although, being a druid, you probably would ride bareback.
Okay, fair enough.
If you ride at all, because you could turn into an animal and just go yourself.
This
That
is
doesn't
true.
last that long, though.
Right. So anyway, you're able to procure everything you need. The DC was 13, and the only one that came close to it was Zyra with a 14. Everybody else knocked it out of the park. So as far as the
Yay,
group roll is
home run.
concerned, you guys got what you need. Are you going through town or around?
I vote
Around.
for around.
Around.
Okay.
I'm not even bothering with this place. Just like, fuck this place, I'm out.
You make it around Full Bill without a problem. They don't even know you were there. Your next step down is either Funwall or Kai.
You said Kai was some sort of technological city?
That's the one
Kai
we're
is a
supposed to be.
technological marvel that
the-
you're supposed to burn down.
Yeah, we're supposed to be burning it down.
Yeah.
But I guess the technology explains why they were interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, geez, we're making good progress. It's only 8:54.
We are
Um,
doing very good progress, yeah.
I guess we're going to Kai.
All right, heading to Kai. Kai
that-
is a long trip.
Do we pass by any other places along the way?
Unless you want to go west, southwest to Funwall before you go to Kai, no.
Okay.
That's up to the group.
Guys, I don't think we need to make any stops in Funwall, do we?
Well, if there was anything we can do in Funwell, we could probably do it in Kai, and it'll make us look even less suspicious.
Yeah.
It's true.
Tis
If we're,
true.
Okay.
if we're purchasing provisions and stuff and blah 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 in Kai, it makes us look like we are just traveling through and just asking around the city because maybe we've never been there.
Okay, so I'm going to implement a quick travel thing.
Oh
Yep.
yes, the roll the percentage thing, isn't it?
Yes. Going to roll a D100, and I'm going to do it 4 times.
I'm not sure if I like the high numbers or they'll hate them.
The high numbers mean you guys passed through whatever encounter it was without a hitch.
Ah, so never mind.
Um,
I like the high numbers.
And it crosses at 50. So that's good, that's not so good, and that is, you got by, but the skin of your teeth. So let's see. Now we roll.
So now we have to go through one actual encounter. The others we pass through easily. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because what I had decided was you gain loot in the ones that you pass, and you lose hit points and whatever healing potions that you might have used during the battle. So with a 35 being awfully darn low, I'm going to put everybody at half hit points. So adjust your tokens accordingly.
Oh no.
And I am going to roll 1, 2, 3. So, oh shoot, wrong one. Sorry about that. Let me do it again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So, in total, the 3 encounters that you passed gave you 20, 30, 45, 45 silver to split between you in loot.
Okay.
And
Said 45.
Yeah,
45 to
45.
split all of you. Yep.
So
45 each or 45
to split.
45 to split.
So like
Okay.
2 silver each.
Bit more than
Yeah,
that.
it'd be more like 5 each. Jess.
45 divided by 6. 7.5.
My calculator's not
So
giving me
8.
the same thing. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Just kidding.
So give yourselves 8 because I'll count the 0.5 rounded up. Just to make math easier. And somebody write down, please, that Dane also will be getting 8 gold or 8 silver
I was gonna say gold. Holy crap! How do they go from gold, silver to gold?
because he's Dane. And does anybody have any healing potions on them currently? Be truthful, I can find out.
Let me
I
look.
think the only one that did was Dane, I believe.
No, I did too. Hold on. Yeah, I've got 2 potion of healing.
Okay, reduce that to 1,
Okay.
as 1 healing potion was used during the battle that you lost.
Okay.
And that is that for travel. Kai, is amazing looking from the outside. Again, it is circular and tiered inward, but it's flat. It's not like Minas Tirith, which is tiered um, in steps. This is an outer wall, circular outer wall, and
Like-
then buildings that are tiered leading to a tower.
So they
Like
slowly
Bossing
get.
Say or something?
So the buildings
Yeah.
slowly get taller as you
Yeah,
go
like
in.
Ba Sing Se. There are people in.
I want to correct you on that one, but whatever.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Just keep going.
The there are people that are in the little planes with the fan in the back.
Planes with a fan in the back. Okay.
Yeah, so a little one-person kind of parachute job with a fan in the back.
Okay.
Hand gliders?
Yeah, hand gliders, except they have a fan on them so that you get pushed forward.
Oh, the paraglider.
Something
I
like
think
that. Yeah.
I think that's the name. I
Um,
know what you're talking about, but yeah.
so there are those all over the place flying around. They are mechanical and magic. That's obvious.
I want one.
As well as a few other technological wonders. When you go in the front gate, which is open, you see primitive steam-powered vehicles, like four-wheeled carts that are being pushed by some sort of combustion and steam. And you find, you know, lots of people with mechanical tools. You find one person that has a mechanical arm in replacement of their um, real arm. You assume it was lost somehow. And basically, you would swear this place was gnomish, but it isn't. And a great big gray bearded, long gray haired, big jolly fat guy. I mean, this guy's probably 800 pounds if he's an inch.
Santa Claus. Okay.
And he walks up to you and he's wearing a 3-piece 1940s esque suit, tie and everything, fedora.
Hmm.
And he reaches out his hand and he shakes whoever offers their hand, if anybody.
I shall.
I was gonna say I will.
He shakes both of your hands, one in turn, and he says, "Welcome to Kai." He says, "I'm not the mayor, but I just happen to be the one to notice you walk through the gate." And he pulls out a little, it looks like a pistol, but he holds it up and he yells, "Visitors." And he pulls the trigger, and out pops confetti and a firework that goes into the air and booms in purple and white. And then you hear cheers, and then from everywhere randomly, more of these fireworks start popping off. As people are just like, "Oh, hey, look, a firework. I got one of them." Pop. You know, it just
Oh my
happens
God, we
everywhere.
entered Disney World.
And almost, except there are no rides and only one tower. There is a small but rideable steam locomotive that seems to travel throughout the city. You sit at an open bench that will fit maybe 2 people
My
if
point
you were to sit in it.
exactly.
But you see that going around. There's 2 of them that you see going back and forth on these tracks. It's steampunk, but not steampunk. It's more clockwork than anything, but steam seems to be what powers anything that moves.
I'm not sure how I feel about burning this town anymore.
The tower has a great big clock on it, like Big Ben.
They have time in this age?
They have time in this city,
Oh, okay.
only it has 14 numbers.
More hours in the day. No.
Yeah, and you hear off in the distance bells ringing, and the same fat guy just said, "Hey, somebody just got married," and he pulls out another pop gun, another firework, followed by hundreds more.
You guys
And he
really
says,
like
if,
you guys really like to make a big deal of everything
Celebrate.
here, huh?
"Oh, everything's a celebration in Kai. How do you think I got so big? I celebrate food," he said.
Oh my word.
"If you're looking for a good place to eat, try all of them. I do every day." And then you see him waddle into a uh, establishment. Everyone cheers. He cheers, and you look in the open door because it's open. Every door in this place is open. He sits down in a booth and he picks up a menu and he says, "Yes," and they just start bringing him stuff.
I look at the group and I'm like, was a very weird welcome.
This is a
The
very weird
druid
place.
is very uncomfortable.
A slender man wearing the same kind of suit, only his is kind of a navy blue, walks up to you and he says, "Don't pay any attention to that guy. He's weird." And then he opens up his coat and he's got pocket watches
Oh Jesus.
on both sides. And he says, "Care to buy?"
I look at them
I
weird because I don't know what a
ab-
pocket watch is. I don't even know what time is.
I am absolutely fascinated by this, and yes, I want to buy one.
That'll be 3 gold.
I'll try to haggle him down to 2 gold, but
Okay, roll persuasion.
okay.
And I'm going to roll for him.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. He says, "You drive a hard bargain, friend." And he says, he basically asks you to pick which one you want. Just point to it, don't touch. And when you do, he takes it out of his little pocket, wherever it is, and he hands it to you and takes your gold, pockets it, says, "Anyone else?" And if I don't, doesn't sound like anybody else is interested.
Oop.
So he just walks off. Goes up to
1092 is looking around the whole city with like the fuck.
He's like a kid at Disney World. He's like, whoa.
I no longer have reservations about burning this place to the ground.
As you're going through town, you do see indulgence of every kind. This is definitely a party place. Most of it's clockwork. You even see clockwork not people because they don't have a voice or anything, but they walk around and they have signs on them, and they're advertising different stores, but they're basically wind up walking robots.
They're traveling
Okay.
billboards.
Yeah, traveling billboards.
So essentially, they're warforged, but made to advertise rather than go to war.
No, because Warforged are semi sentient. These are more like, you know, those robots you used to get as a kid with the feet that have the two things on them and they kind of walk like this?
Yeah,
Okay,
a
gotcha,
wind-up
gotcha.
toy.
Yeah, it's basically those.
Okay.
You wind them up, you send them in a straight line, and usually, yeah, they just go. And then you pay a small boy or something to go and turn them around and rewind them. That's basically how that works here.
Interesting.
They just go in a straight line and they're sent down a street. Um, so there's a lot of just weirdness here. Um,
It's
but
an
there's
interesting place.
people of every age and shape and size. Um, you know, there there are jugglers and stilt walkers and um, sword swallowers and
Are we
fire
seeing different
swallowers.
races, or are they just all mostly humans?
You're seeing pretty much a representation of every race, including some sort of Fey type creatures. Um, you do see, kind of like the Pied Piper, you do see a fawn with a whistle,
Hmm.
and a bunch of, well dressed dancing children who are doing a sort of almost Victorian style um, dance. Very choreographed. They know what they're doing.
What? Only damage?
Falling damage is 1d10 per 10 feet. Could also be 1d6 per 10 feet, depending on the DM. But, I mean, if this is the day life, then the night life must be something.
I guess the first thing we should probably do is find a place to stay for the night.
Yeah, heal up.
Heal up.
Stable the horses.
Yeah, heal up. We are at half health.
Although I noticed neither you nor Zyra are.
I must
Yeah,
have
I
missed
just
that.
haven't updated it yet. I assumed that we were going to be healing up, staying someplace before getting into any combat of any kind, so I wasn't going to update it unless we did come into combat.
I have a question.
Yo.
Are Warforged on common here?
As you're walking around, people are giving you sort of side looks because you're not one of the automatons that they see advertising different businesses. You're different. First of all, they can see that between the metal plates there is wood. So
not gears and everything.
right.
It's fully
Um,
filled.
so that's a little strange to them. So no, you don't think that there's a lot going on here as far as Warforged. Um, However, you definitely get the idea that there's probably um, the ability for some upgrade of some kind.
That's what I was thinking.
Interesting. I didn't even
Oh,
consider
shit.
that.
If you're saying something, I can't hear you because my headphones came unplugged.
I said
Nah.
that's
I was going down to give my puppy a kiss, and there we go. Hi, folks. How are you?
Devin,
no,
your
that's
health
what I
bar
said-
on
I
your
said that's
thingy's
exactly
not
what I
right.
was thinking.
Dev.
I
Now
was
the
thinking
question
they were
is,
special
what
here.
type of an upgrade are you able to get?
That is very much a question.
Your breast stinks. Your breast stinks.
Problem is, I don't have a lot of. I wouldn't have a lot of money left after the after making that steel armor.
That's my big boy.
Yeah, well, maybe I do. Okay, well, I don't have as much as I have more than I thought, but
Remember, I put down money on that.
oh yeah, you did, right? That's fine. Trying to think.
You see one human that is walking around. Um, it's a human female. She has red hair, goggles on her forehead. She's covered in dirt. She's wearing a pair of coveralls. And she's going around and just measuring people's shoulders on their backs. And I turn around and go, "What? Oh, it's you." And she does the same thing to the automaton. She's just shoulder width of everybody she can come across who's letting her do it, which is pretty much everybody. A lot of the locals seem to know her.
Interesting. Would
You can't but help but tilt his head to the side a little bit, just like, huh?
She turns and looks at you, and she has emerald green eyes. And she runs up and she says, she just points her finger right in your face and says, "Warforged."
Yes.
She looks at you and says, "What is your designation?
1092.
What faction are you with?"
One that does not exist anymore.
"You're old. Can I measure your back?"
I look at Riccardo and everyone.
I shrug.
Before you even answer, she's got a tape measure to your back. And then she measures.
Looking behind me, just like.
Then she measures the length from the bottom of your, I guess, neck down to, I guess, your butt.
He doesn't really have a butt, so he
Right.
doesn't really care about people touching that. So.
And then she does like around your waist, and then your arm length and width, and then she starts playing around with your hands.
I look over at Riccardo.
I'm shrugging and shaking my head.
She measures
is like laughing a little bit.
She kind of gets up to almost climbing on you and measures the circumference of your head at various points, covering your eyes with the tape measure, and then measuring your eyes. And then she jumps down and she goes, "Huh, I could build it."
Excuse me?
She says, "You want an accessory?"
Sure.
And she says, "Do you want to do what they do, only better?" And she points up in the sky.
Is she pointing at the things with like the glider thing, the fan?
Yeah.
Bruh.
I'm not sure gravity would allow that.
She giggles and then she goes down onto the dirt and she draws you. And then she draws like a side view of you with a backpack on it. And then
she wants to give you a jetpack.
A couple of lines out of the backpack, and then she draws a circle. Basically looks like she's drawing a hot air balloon. And then she draws a thing on your front with lines coming out of it like thrust, and one on your back on the backpack with lines coming out of it like thrust, and connecting harnesses and whatnot.
92 is just scratching his head as he's watching this.
And, then on the backpack piece, there's one on either side, with some sort of thrust coming out of it. And you can go
Thrust.
forward, you can go backward, you can go side to
Devin.
side, and with a quick twist of your, you can.
You just cut
I
out
can
half.
build it.
You just cut out at the
You cut
worst
out
time.
halfway through the-
You were
Oh.
like,
with a quick
quick
twist of your
thrust of
wrist and
A
nothing.
quick twist of your waist, and you can turn. And she basically is saying that she wants to design a hot air balloon backpack.
So it would expand outward at your command, and you would be able to fly.
Slowly,
Yes.
but yes. You'd be able to fly slowly, faster than you can walk, slower than you can run. Basically, what happens is she explains the backpack opens up, the balloon pops out as it starts to fill with hot air, and then you lift off. There's a thruster in the front for reverse movement, a thruster in the back for forward movement, and then, side left and right, and then you turn by just twisting. She says, just for a couple of $1,000 gold, I can build it in a month.
I think I prefer the ground.
She pouts. Aw. And then she says, I'm going to build it anyway, but for me. And then she runs off.
Okay.
She was an interesting character.
Yes.
I'm gonna need to be sleeping carefully, aren't I?
He's gonna wake up
She-
and well, you don't sleep, but I just picture
No,
like
but
us
a
going.
sentry's rest, and I just
I could picture us going to bed at night, and we just wake up in the middle of the night, and she's like snuck into our room, and she's like measuring him some more in the night.
or like got his breastplate off, and he's just like poking at his insides.
there's just 1092 links. Just are more people going to do that?
I can't say no, buddy. I can't say no.
Charlie, that's not your toy. Where's your stuffy? You got your wubby right there.
Oh.
Finding a place to sleep is not that difficult. Let's just say you find a place that is a couple of silver a piece for a simple room each, or you can double up if you want. And a meal is provided at night and in the morning. It's kind of like a bed and breakfast with dinner. Single night stay for now. Yeah. Where are you going from here? What is the group doing?
What
We
time
still have
of
a
day
half
is
hour
it?
till 10. So I'm going to say, once again, you enter town somewhere in the late morning.
Okay, so we got all day to explore then.
Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning.
All right. So we got our room. I think we should go into one of the rooms and discuss privately what our game plan should be, where no one can pry.
You are asked if you want private or listened to.
What?
What?
I'm sorry, listened to?
It's a novelty. Some people occasionally like to go into a room where they are eavesdropped on purpose. It's one of the places it's called the Eavesdrop Inn, but it's the cheapest you can afford.
Yeah, no, private.
That's no big deal. There are private rooms and there are eavesdrop rooms.
Never been asked that question before. Okay.
Apparently, there's some perverts in this town.
Apparently.
So you go into the private room, or one of the you each get private bedrooms, or you can double up or whatever.
1092 will probably just sit in one of the rooms in the closet.
hiding
They're also
from the measuring
you're
lady.
also
Bunk with
offered
me, buddy.
what you get is almost like a college dormitory. You have a sitting room in the middle, and then off to the sides there are bedrooms.
Okay.
And there's even a shared WC. So you
Wash
basically,
closet.
yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Sit in the closet like a creeper.
So when we get into one of the rooms, I ask everybody, so we're supposed to investigate the town, see if we can find any evidence of any sort of the enemy being here. Where do you think we should start?
Well,
1092 shrugs, sewers.
Let's not jump straight into another fight, yeah?
Bill, I like the idea of getting into a fight. I don't like the idea of going back into the freaking sewers.
Do you think they'd go underground here too? Where it's supposed to be, we think their base, or do you think they're going to be more out in the open here?
They're probably building a base under the city that will be connected. Also, is there like anything natural in this city, like plants or animals or?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few small parks.
I'd kind of like to go to check one of those out.
Yeah, I mean,
He
by small,
wants to get away from all the
like,
technology.
By small, I mean like 1 or 2 acres. Like they're really small. But each one of them does have a little pond and trees and rocks, big rocks to sit on and things like that. So it is natural. Man-made, but natural.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I can hear my baby crying. I have to check on her.
Yep.
Well, I suggest if we're going to be here for a little while, the first day or so, we make ourselves look normal. Not that this place appears to be normal.
Well, I think.
I'm gonna go to the basement.
I think one thing that we could do to at least not appear out of the ordinary would be to ask around about work.
Yeah, let's check with the innkeeper.
Ask around for work, go shopping.
Yep.
Do normal things. Recall I'll get drunk.
Hey.
There is a message board in
you're
this.
You're not wrong, but hey.
There is a message board and there is a bar. One of the jobs on the message board is to go talk to a guy named Vinny about a rock.
I hand that one to Victor.
I pass it back to the Warforged.
There is another one that mentions good boy, that mentions gold per pound on finding their child, a runaway. And there is another one that is another go talk to someone for something. This time it just says you'll know her when you see her, and it describes a emerald-eyed, red-headed woman.
That lady. And hang on, for that specific one, what exactly is she looking for?
It doesn't say. It just says go see this person. It'll be worth your while.
I swear to God, if this is the flying balloon.
Okay.
I need someone to test this.
Oh Jesus.
All right.
What did I miss?
I take that paper, just roll my eyes.
We
you're with me. Come on.
we were checking the message board for work, and one of the things that was on there was a thing for the emerald-eyed lady that we
Ugh.
encountered earlier. And it said it didn't give any description of what she wants. She just wants you to go find her and talk to her about something, and it would be worth our while.
Tonight takes the paper, rolling his eyes, pulls Ricola with him. Come on, we're going.
There was, just to let you know, Zyra, there were two others. One
Okay.
of them was to go see a guy named Vinny about a rock.
N-
That's all it says. And the other one is gold per pound in finding their child, a runaway.
Oh.
Also, take the rock one.
Okay. So 1092 has see a guy named Vinny about a rock, and the emerald-haired girl,
Emerald-eyed.
emerald-eyed girl, redhead.
Ooh, emerald hair sounds cool.
Yeah, it
I am
does.
mildly interested in the rock.
Oh yeah, the one you hand right back to the Warforge, huh?
It's because you're being druid prejudiced.
It was in good humor. I might
Okay,
have to
so
go. I might have to go deal with the balloon strapped to my back. So you know.
That's a risk you're gonna.
so which one are we doing first, and are we taking all three of them or just two of them?
I'm taking those two. I'm not gonna bring back a child to a town where literally about to burn.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Well, they may just have escaped their parents in the town. We don't know that they've left the town.
Right, but
I don't know, but
nah, yeah, I agree with you there.
I don't want to get too deep into really big things because last time we took a side job that sounded like it was going to take a little bit. We got underground for 6 weeks.
True, but we're also maybe just walking into a fight, seeing Vinny about a rock.
Then this must be one rock that was well worth it.
Bless you, Pompey.
So,
demon
Vinny,
servants
or
spelled.
do you guys want to laugh at me for a little bit?
Let's go look at the.
Let's go look at the rock.
Okay. It tells you where to go, tells you the address. You walk into a restaurant. This restaurant has red and white checkered tablecloths, and it has some
Wine
sort
bottles with little raffia thing.
of kinda, there's a little bit of a bar, and the people here seem to be eating some sort of stringy substance with a
Got it.
tomato-based meat sauce.
Spaghetti.
And you walk into the place, and it smells amazing. There's definitely garlic happening here. If
And
anybody is,
you can't smell, but if he could
if
drool, he probably would be.
uh, elves and druids would be familiar with things like basil and thyme and rosemary. These are common wild spices that humans have cultivated. And it smells like all of them. And you notice these balls of meat that are within this sort of tomato base, and there's vegetables in there. There's peppers, and it's all strange. And there's a guy that comes up to you. He says, "Welcome. My name is Luigi.
Oh my god.
Really,
Do
Luigi?
you wish to sit or do you wish to not sit? You tell me."
I want to meet your brother Mario.
I don't have a brother Mario. I have a brother Vinny. Vinny, he's the cook.
Actually, he's the one we need to see. He has.
Oh, you want to see Vinny?
Yeah,
Oh.
actually.
You want to see Vinny about the rock? You
Yes.
come with me.
Sure.
I'll show you. And he says, "Oh, when we go into the kitchen, keep your hands to yourself, huh?" And as you're walking by a
Jazz, we
table,
can't hear you.
I didn't even know she was talking. I don't see her. I see the bed.
Yeah, she was
not,
doing something with
I'm
one of
not
your
sure.
children.
I can hear her doing something down the hall, but I can't tell.
Could be
She
the
had
beginning of the trial.
one of the kids was crying.
Oh, that was okay. I
Luna,
assumed
I'm assuming.
yeah, but I had thought that she had come back because she said that. What did
No,
she
her.
miss?
Oh, did she? Because her camera is showing the bed still.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
As you're going by a table, that one person gets Luigi's attention and mentions something about the herb bread. Um,
Garlic bread.
and
by any
and
chance?
he says, "Oh, you can have a more of that. That comes free." And he snaps his fingers, and a guy around the bar ducks down and brings out a basket with another one of those red and white checkered cloths on it, and brings it over and just hands it to the people and says, he just says, "Yeah, complimentary basket. You can keep that too. There you go. Good food? All right." And then he walks
God
away.
damn it! Now
God.
I'm hungry, Tony.
Yeah, same.
Hey, I just made pasta and garlic bread tonight for me, so that's why we're here.
You suck.
That explains it.
Amazing.
So you go out back, and he takes you to the kitchen area, and it's obvious who Vinny is. He looks just like Luigi. They might even be twins, but not exactly identical.
Is one tall and skinny and one short and fat?
No, they're both short and skinny.
Sorry,
Um,
couldn't resist.
Sorry.
Welcome
And
back, Zyra.
Yeah, Abby had a bad dream. She woke up crying.
oh, poor dear. So, he's got a white shirt on and the chef's big cap, and he's got white pants, and he's got an apron on. He starts wiping his hands off on the apron, and he says, "Hey, you guys look like adventurers. You hear about a story about the Rock?"
Not exactly, but we heard about you needing help with a rock.
"Yeah, I need help with a rock. Come here, let me tell you a story." And he says, "Come into my office. It's downstairs."
I
In
love
the basement,
I love that Vinny sounds like a textbook Vinny.
right?
Did you miss out on the restaurant?
Yeah, the last thing I heard was they were eating spaghetti.
You
Yeah, his
miss
brother's
Luigi.
name is Luigi.
You miss Luigi.
Oh my word.
Luigi, he's the waiter. He's Vinny's brother. He takes care of customers.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Joey behind the bar. He's the one that deals with the drinks and the garlic bread.
Tribbiani?
No,
Is their last name Tribbiani?
it's probably Parvacci or something like that.
Oh my god.
Luciano. No, he was a mobster.
Oh, and these guys aren't?
So you go downstairs, and there's a huge, huge food storage area, and then a tiny little office that barely all of you fit in. Big enough for all of you, but not quite. 1092, you kind of have to attempt to make yourself small. And so does everybody else.
Quick,
just
Victor,
keep
turn
jumping
into a
I
mouse.
Shush.
And he
No, that actually might be useful. Please become a mouse. We can probably fit.
he goes around the desk, and he goes to this big, about 6 foot tall by 4 foot wide iron safe. Thick too, which means this thing costs a pretty penny. And he said, and he points at it, he's real proud, and he says, "Yeah, heirloom, a safe, heirloom. Yeah, my grandfather, what a smart guy. Oy." He goes and he does a few things, and he opens the safe, and he brings out an empty glass case about this big. To describe it for people who don't see me or can't see me or won't see me, it's about double the size of my fists.
Because that helps if no one can see you.
Well, double the size of 2 human fists put together. And he says, the real heirloom was in this box. And he puts it down on the table. And he says, the rock. The shiniest diamond you ever did see. Beautiful rock, let me tell you something. It was here, now it's not here. Now I know it wasn't my brother. I know he wouldn't have done it. He loves this place. He likes it more than I do. I can pretty much vouch for my bartender. Not a family member, but, you know, we've known him since we were kids. Probably wouldn't do it. We know it was an inside job. So either it was one of my prep cooks who has access to downstairs easier than the wait staff, or one of Luigi's boys. We've done all the interrogating and threatening and murdering of family members that we can do. I kid you on that last part. We threatened to murder family members. But really, we ain't got the muscle. Until now. You guys look tough. I need somebody to go out there and in my name, not my brother's. You can't threaten to fly under my brother's name. Everybody knows him. Go out there under my name and shake up a few people. I got some names. Just pound their face into the pavement. Don't kill them. Just pound their face into the pavement. I pay you money. I find out who stole my rock.
Okay. Sounds good.
And the cleric knows nothing about this because he's not with us.
Yeah,
So-
I'm not either.
I am actually with you.
Ah, shit. It covers the series.
So what do you say?
Ricalo is okay with this.
5 gold ahead each.
How many names you got?
4. So that's 20 gold, not silver, not copper, not electrum. We don't use that here. That shit stinks. It ain't real currency. I don't care who you talk to.
$20 gold total or 20 gold for each of us?
20 gold ahead. Each one of you, whatever, bring some friends, just no more than 6. Each of you gets 20 gold once the job is done. Stop humping my arm, dog.
That'll be 20 gold.
Oh, that brings to mind so many questions. Anyway.
He was playing with his blanket, and then he grabbed onto my arm. Look at him. He's still doing it.
We didn't need to see this.
Dog.
My
Wrong
channel is
species.
not going to become doggy porn. Stop it.
Not wrong species and wrong gender. You can't knock me up.
Oh
Stop
my
grabbing
God.
at my wrist. It's not her neck.
Oh my God.
Hide your rats.
This is what he's doing.
Look.
Look.
Welcome to owning a dog.
This is why I prefer females.
Stupid animal.
Our dog does that too.
Anyway.
Is your dog
Yeah.
fixed?
Yes.
That's weird.
Oh, a fixed animal will still do it. They just do it less frequent.
I'll say
So,
I've always gotten females. They've never done that.
so are we working for our 1092? And Ricalo seem okay with it. Grandius hasn't said anything.
Sorry, I was eating chips.
So he's the one we heard the chips from.
I have it on push to talk. I was never eating the chips before 9 o'clock.
Nah, it was Ricalo.
Before he suddenly turned down.
Hey,
He's
suddenly,
adopting the accent.
Suddenly,
You brought it out.
You brought it out.
Austin, you are a descendant of the Frontiero family.
I know, it's a joke. He just went from absolutely nothing to suddenly talking with a freaking nibity.
He's Irish Italian, which pretty much makes him a Jew. Oh wait, he's
Oh
my
my
kid.
God.
So he is Jewish also. He's Irish, Italian, and Jewish. Sometimes he has to occupy himself.
Explains the nose.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Anyway,
Lamb.
so Ricalo and 1092, are you going to recruit help? You going to ask your team to help you? Because right now,
If
all
I have anything to do with this, then I don't
no,
know, drop a
Victor,
couple-
Victor, were you with them? Yeah, because you said you wanted to go see a guy about a rock. So Victor, you were with them also.
Yep.
What's your take on this? I didn't hear if you said something.
I hadn't. I'm somehow less willing to go beat up people than burn down.
But think about it this way, Riccardo. Not Riccardo. Victor. You're Victor. They're the people who made this city, though.
We built this city. We
I just listened to that last
this
night.
city on rock and roll. Anyway.
Wow.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna beat up these two.
Okay, gonna be
Oh,
up
you want to go?
1092
Let's go,
and Ricalo.
Victor. You were
Wow.
there for the pit.
All right, so
Oh, wait, no, he wasn't there for the pit. But come on,
For the
Victor, let's
sake of-
go.
for the sake of expedience at 9:46, who is doing this job? Let's say that you come back, you've discussed it with your group. Is anybody doing this job, and if so, who?
I'll do it. It's money.
Ricalo.
I'm against beating people
I will
up that I
help, but I
don't
will
really
take them
know,
alive.
but yeah.
Okay, yeah, you don't
Guess
have
I'll
to
tag along.
tag along. Okay, so
I'm
everybody,
tagging along, but I'm taking no lives.
Well, we're not killing anyone anyway.
Aren't we supposed to be keeping a low key and not drawing attention to ourselves? This is the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing.
We're adventurers.
So-
We're taking job.
Taking jobs that are
So-
drawing attention to ourselves.
the first name, I'm not gonna make them up. But the first name is the brother of one of the wait staff, and all I want is for each of you to make an unarmed attack roll,
Okay.
and go ahead and make 2 apiece, and we'll
Oh,
see
that
how rough you
fucking
get it.
Sucks. Wait, what the? I failed and then I crit.
So we each make unarmed attack.
2 unarmed attack rolls.
How would we do that? Just like make a strength check, basically.
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
have something set up for it.
Let me look at a character sheet. I'll look at Victor's. An unarmed strike would be strength plus. I want to say strength plus proficiency.
If you have proficiency.
Right. Now, if you don't have, yeah, if you're not used to getting into fisticuffs, then it's a d20 plus your strength.
Okay. So So
Victor,
I could do a strength saving throw.
Not a saving throw, no. Roll strength, which is just under your strength. The word strength in there. Just roll.
Oh
There
my
you go.
god. Those
Victor, you're such a
Oh.
little weakling.
Ricallo,
God.
Ricallo.
Ricallo and Grandius, make another one. You're gonna make 2 each.
Well, that was better.
Grandius, are you gonna? There you go. So 17, 18, 25.
Our healer did
And
more
that's it.
damage than anybody else.
1092 and
Wait, why is
Grandius.
Grandius with us?
he's with
said
us.
he
He's just not killing anyone. He's
He said
making.
he
He's
was.
there to make sure we don't kill anyone.
So the rest of you, though swinging, you're not really doing much damage. 1092 and Grandius.
Let's be
mostly
honest, they're not
Grandius.
punching, they're slapping.
Mostly Grandius managed to rough him up enough, and then you guys run off saying this is from Vinny. This is from Vinny about a rock. That's what he wanted you to say.
I want to say that, and with that, I want to say this is from Vinny and use those words as healing word.
Yep, that's fine.
As we're running away, I want to cast healing word on him by saying.
Oh well,
this
wait a
is from
minute.
Vinny.
Wait a minute. So you're essentially making it sound like the healing is from Vinny.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Never mind. As we say this is from Vinny and round the corner or whatever, so he can't see us, I'll just cast healing word.
Okay. So you peer around the corner again and then cast healing word.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Just
fine.
Send him very
You are a
mixed
weird
messages.
ass mugger.
So
It's like
I'm
somebody
gonna
shanked you on the
you up.
street and then they bandage you up after.
I'm sorry I beat the shit out of you.
Are you
Here.
gonna put out the
Dude.
fire
I mean, hey,
after we start it too?
What was it? The club of healing. It heals as much damage as it damages. Like that would be an effective weapon. You could just keep beating on these guys. They'd be hurting, but they're not dying.
Oh my
so
god.
you come across the second person. Do your fisticuffs again. Each one of you roll 2.
Oh boy.
Are we taking
Okay.
advantages on this stuff or no?
No. First numbers only.
No.
Holy numbers.
Okay.
Hey, Victor did something.
Oh,
Bite me.
Wow.
1092,
You did
24,
way
Victor
better this time. What
17,
happened? Did you
Ricallo,
pop some
Victor,
steroids
I got
as
a
you got to the
Grandius.
next
I got
person?
a 17 and a 13.
I'm
Yep.
obviously in a wild shape now.
So yeah, this guy is Fubar but not dead. And again, this is from Vinny about a rock. Grandius, do you do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. And do it again for the third guy. There's 2 more names. 10, 21, 13, 8, 9, 19, 18, 13. So yeah, you guys pretty much roughed this guy up pretty good too. And I'm going to assume, Grandius, you're doing the same thing. And the fourth guy? $12, 20, 19, 11. So that's a miss and a hit and a miss.
What's happening?
The fourth guy. There were 4 names.
Oh, I thought there was only 3. My bad.
Oh, wow.
Jesus, Grandius.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Grandius is getting way too into that.
You get to the
yeah,
fourth
for,
guy.
for the healer, You are smacking some major damage on these guys, even if you are healing them.
The reason
Shit.
I'm beating them up and then casting Healing Word is it's similar to how I were about to burn the village down, so I have to make a new one. I'm sort of repenting.
So you get this guy, you rough him up pretty good. He's like one of the waiter's cousins, or one of the cook's cousins. And you get to the end of the beating before you're supposed to run away, and he chokes up and he says a deal on 3rd Street at 4 a.m. You didn't hear it from me. And then he gets up and kind of stagger runs away.
As he's staggering and runs away, I'll do the same thing I've done for all the others.
Yep.
I wonder if I can get these out now.
Two things you can do with this information. You can take it back to Vinny, or you can investigate it yourself.
What time did he say?
Yeah, I'm
4
happy to tell
a.m.
Vinny.
4 a.m.
And what time would it have somewhat been?
Oh, you're still in the early morning. This is your first job.
Well, I would have
Not early
go
morning.
back to Vinny and see if he wants us to do something, but I'm charging extra if we do.
You get back there after you do the jobs. He says he's heard about all 4. Very well done. Here's your 20 gold apiece. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it from here. And then he says, oh, by the way, you were never here in the office. You were in the restaurant. You were eating. Everybody will vouch for you.
Can I have some of that bread stuff?
Yeah, it's free for customers. Talk to the bartender. Here. And he flicks you a piece of wood. It's just like a wooden coin. He says, that should get you a free basket. And then he says, wait a minute. You don't eat. Never mind.
He tries.
Yeah, never mind.
We find it's better not to question him sometimes.
Yeah, just like my brother. And that's the end of that job. What's next?
I go collect my basket and then I'm off to go find the emerald-eyed lady.
And
3 more minutes till 10.
Yep. Got plenty
and
of
the
time.
4 of us each get 20 gold.
Yep.
All right.
The emerald-eyed lady.
Yeah, the
We
one
are
that's
going
gonna
to-
strap a backpack.
We're going to find out what she wants and then end the session. You get to
Okay.
her shop, and it is like a garage. You go in, and she's got all kinds of tools everywhere. She's got some projects that are half done. She started on a metal backpack that she's trying to put a oil-fueled heat source in.
Sounds
And
unsafe.
she looks at you guys and she sees 1092. Who's with? Is everybody on this one or just you guys again?
I'll go this time.
Zyra. Okay. Everybody
I'm
goes
going
in.
with him. I promised him I'd go.
All right, what's going on now?
She gets super excited when she sees you, and she comes up and she actually hugs you.
I
Um,
questionably pat her back, looking
yeah, she
around.
jumps up, wraps her arms around your neck, her feet are up in the air. She bends her knees. She's so super happy to see you.
I think
And then
1092's got a girlfriend.
she looks at
I
she looks
will
at all
hate
you.
Zyra.
She looks at all of you and she says, "Can you be trusted?" Then she looks at Grandius and says, "Point taken."
Would travel with a
I
cleric.
don't even have to say anything.
Just travel with a cleric. Point taken.
She looks at you all and she gets super serious. She grabs a metal chair and she sits down and she's looking at the ground. She looks like she's trying to work up what she's trying to say. She says, "Look, I was born here. I was raised here. Everybody knows me. I want out. You don't understand. We are trapped here. It's a gilded cage.
How are you trapped?
It's been this way for the last 3 weeks. Somebody came into town, and even though the gate is open, we can't leave. You can, you're visitors, but those of us who were here when they got here, I don't even know who they are. All I know is that we can't leave. I need somebody to smuggle me and my stuff out of here.
Do you know where they are staying?
No,
We
all
can
I know is that they seem to have convinced the leaders of the town to keep us here. Personally, I want out.
we can probably help you get out of town. Is there a place that you would be looking to go? Do you have family or friends or a location set up outside of this town?
I was an only child, and my parents died in a very strange accident brought on by my mother.
1092, just kind of sighs. How do you like traveling?
I've never done it before. Well, I've traveled straight up once. That's how my parents died.
I whisper to 1092, don't use her backpack.
Don't use your back.
All right.
Ricalo.
Yes.
I would normally give this to Dane because he's the one that has the better rapport.
Okay.
But you get a whisper in your ear. The whisper is, yes, definitely, we need her. But it won't be easy. There are a lot of eyes on you right now. They know where you came from. They may even know what you're doing. And you recognize the voice as Baltus. And he says,
That's
I
awesome.
stress again, the war effort needs her.
I had a feeling. Okay.
When is there a way, like, should I talk out of character, or is there a way that I could communicate with the party members without her understanding?
Depending, well, you could always just pull them aside.
If she doesn't speak Elvish, you can at least talk to me in Ricalo.
I also speak Dwarvish.
Well, can't you
which-
cast, understand
Dwarvish.
Well, I speak.
comprehend language? Is that just written, or is that
I don't know about speaking, but
spoken?
I speak
Just
a bunch of
spoken.
languages.
Dwarvish, you'll be able to speak to me and Dane.
Draconic and Giant, which I'm very sure very few people may know that here. I understand.
Okay, I guess I'll be speaking Elvish then. But I also try and pull everyone aside. So we could bring her with us when we make our escape, or do we want to try and get her out before then?
I would rather get her out before then, because we don't want to worry about her announcing anything to anybody else.
True.
Oh, she introduces herself, by the way, beforehand when you first walked in as Naira Elneth. Niera Elnith. Real easy to spell. Niera Elnith. Charlie, what do you got? Get over here. Don't you run away from me.
Oh.
You freaking swallowed it before I got to you? And you're peeing on me. Get out. Go potty.
Well, I guess this is a point where we
Go
can discuss what
potty.
the hell is going on.
Yeah. So I think that we ought to send her possibly straight to the capital. But
We do have.
Anyway,
I
that is
I'm
where we
also-
will end the
I-
session tonight.
yes, I think we should wait for Dane to figure out details,
Fair enough.
because we do have that portal, and if we do wait and take her with us when we flee, we can just portal out with her instead of trying to figure out 2 different ways to get out twice.
So, what game is this?
Dungeons and
Hi,
Dragons, my friend.
Knuckle.
Hello.
This is the Sun D&D game called the 10 Staves.
Ah,
They are tasked with finding 11 staves. That's why it's called the 10 Staves. And
Really, it's 10 and 2 halves.
really is 10 and 2 halves, which is the name of the Roll20 portion of the game.
ah.
I have to go AFK to go get my dog.
Hi, Knuckle.
Hello.
Say hi to everyone in this D&D session except Dane, because Dane is not here today.
Hello, everybody in this D&D session except Dane.
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Obviously, you
that
know
that was a little creepy, but okay.
everyone in the D&D session except Dane. This is Knuckle. He plays the Minotaur, my other game.
Minotaur Barbarian.
Ooh.
And I have a small mouse that lives in a notch in one of my horns.
That's funny.
Who is
Okay.
played by my mother, apparently. Come in.
How long has this game been going on?
Couple of months.
It's been more than
Ah.
that, Dev.
Huh?
It's been more than that.
Yeah, we were still at the condo.
I
when this
mean,
started.
Victor's been playing for a couple of months when we started way before he started, so. I mean, we were playing back in the summertime.
Yeah, a couple of months. Anyway,
Couple is 2, honey.
whatever. Anyway,
Sometimes it means a few.
A few is 3.
Exactly. Hush your face, Zara. Hush your face. Anyways, yeah, I am a dark elf wizard named
Who
Ricalo.
likes to steal things and is a drunk.
I have a slight drinking problem in the game.
Slight?
And yeah, I've got sticky fingers sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, my ultimate weapon is the fabled stick of questioning.
Yes, the stick of questioning.
Okay.
If I cannot immediately identify something in front of me, I draw my stick of questioning and poke it.
The description of the stick of questioning, which is now an item in. Thanks to Tony. This stick makes the user feel better about questioning things. Has no magical properties, but is labeled as a magical item.
Devin, can I
Wow.
poke you with a stick of questioning?
No, but I can poke you with it.
Oh my god.
Hey, hey.
That
hey,
was not
hey,
supposed to
is-
go
is
that
my
way.
stick of questioning. God damn it.
I had to twist that.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
um,
Not where I was going
Bad
with that,
McCullough.
Devin.
Bad.
uh,
No beer for you.
You're
Too
cut
late.
off. Oh my word.
Christ. Okay. So to cover something for in game, I like the idea of removing her at the same time as we leave town. My only issue with that is that we have to make sure that she knows nothing about our plans for
Well, she doesn't have
before
to. We
leave
can just.
town.
Honestly, I'm not comfortable with helping with the whole blowing the town up thing because I
So
am.
if you want to keep her distracted,
That's what I was
and
thinking. We
go
can have a
shopping or
meeting
something,
point
and
set
then-
up and I can just stay with her and we can meet back because I don't mind being here, but I really don't want to take part at all
Well,
in
so
the
here's
whole
the thing, unless-
process. So, because my
Here's another
character is a
thing.
very good character, she would not participate in this at all.
and we just tell her that we're using this portal thing.
Right.
Uh,
Did he specify?
be-
I didn't.
because
I
we
didn't. I
need
don't
her.
remember. Did he specify how far we could use that portal to teleport?
A
I
few
don't.
miles.
A few
We
miles.
could reach one of the nearby cities.
Okay.
Also, we
just-
might have this person sticking with us for a while, unless she's traveling on her own to the capital.
Right.
But clearly, she is of some importance, so we might want
Well,
to keep her
surely
with us
once
until
we escape,
We can
we could have
contact
Balthus collect.
Baltus and have him collect her.
Sounds to me like he's keeping an eye on us and he knows what we're doing.
out
I
from
don't
under that
think
tree.
we need to contact him. I think if he wants her, he's gonna come get her.
And if he doesn't, I suggest that we keep her with us
Yeah.
for some time and keep her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Besides, we need someone who could probably pick locks.
Yeah, because
Hey,
Bacalo sucks at it.
hey!
It's probably because he's drunk
So,
all the time. Kind of hard to pick a lock when you're intoxicated.
Wow.
So I have a question for you guys. Maybe y'all will be able to answer this.
What's up?
If a Minotaur starts raging,
Yep.
what are the visual representations? Is it like Goku going Super Saiyan?
That's what I would picture. Yeah, is like
Say that
head
again?
thrown back and arms out wide.
Oh, okay.
I would
Well-
picture a just a train sounds. The good old,
Yeah,
good
kinda
old cartoon
like
train
Right. Think like a ball.
commentary.
Right. Like the bull fights in Spain. Think like that when they see the red cape.
Mm.
Steam
Everything
coming
goes
out of their
red.
nose.
I still like the visual of Goku going Super Saiyan. Only it's a man with the upper body of a bull instead of
Right.
yeah.
Pretty much, it's that internally.
Oh.
Where you see in your mind just flames everywhere. Everyone sees you go. Everyone just takes a step
Well,
backwards, just-
Dane's gonna have a lot to come back to.
Right.
saying,
I'll
"What
try
I
and
missed?"
summarize stuff and send him a.
We could just throw a curveball
message.
at him and be like, "Sorry, Dane, you died along the way." No.
Dane, you fell
Right.
down another hole. We weren't able to retrieve you.
You took
Re-roll
delayed-
A new character.
Tell him you took delayed fall damage.
He can play the red-haired woman.
Yes, now he can play the Emerald Redhead.
Who?
Oh god. Oh, we just found this random lady that was
He's been listening.
like an inventor lady. Yeah.
Mm.
We're talking about Dane just tricking the thing to Someone just tell him that we're sorry, Dane died in a fight. Have him roll a character, and then when he comes back, just like, oh yeah, that was a joke.
Don't make him create a whole new character for nothing. That sucks.
Yeah, it's a touch.
It's a lot of work to do that.
Holy crap.
What?
What?
I'm watching a video of a firefighter with his mask on, but he off and everything else, put it through a ladder between the two rungs, and is now fitting his body between the two rungs of an aluminum ladder.
Must be a small guy.
Well, I mean, he's like 6 foot tall, but he's pretty thin. But he took off his helmet, he took off his tools, and he took off his air pack, keeping the mask on his head, keeping the rest of his gear on, and that's about 20 pounds of gear. He pushed it all through the rung of this ladder and then climbed through it himself.
To what end?
It's a small space training.
Oh.
Well, since we're ending here, I will be back. I gotta go bring the girlfriend home. I don't know if you're gonna be busy there, Tony. So if you aren't,
I have to throw a load of dishes in the what do you call it, dishwasher. And after that, I was gonna jump on GTA real quick, check my supplies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I am currently mining platinum.
Ooh.
Platinum.
I'll be back.
Oh, you found platinum.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to put together a server of some kind so that we can all play together.
Play
I'm playing
Minecraft?
Space Engineers.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
I mean.
Oh, okay. I can create a server.
And I can record it and I can put it on YouTube and we can be those people.
Hmm.
I have a YouTube channel called KWhat, KWHAT, and it's called
Not
that.
KY.
What happened to
Not
where?
KY.
What happened to Here's Your Mint?
Here's Your Mint is production stuff. KWhat is gameplay.
Gotcha.
KWhat is under Here's Your Mint production company.
Gotcha.
But KWhat is video games. And the reason it's called KWhat is because every time somebody tried to explain a new video game to me, back when I wasn't as video game savvy, my answer was usually, K, what? So, KWhat
nice.
became the
Go-to response.
go-to response, and that's just what became the video game channel name.
So,
It is, you know.
KWhat sounds like a radio station.
Yep,
Yeah,
it does.
yeah. I was gonna do podcasts and stuff like that, under Here's Your Mint and under KWhat. This is a KWHAT radio.
I can
Or maybe some new riff on K-pop.
Actually, you have a good announcer voice, Knuckle.
Yeah,
I
he does.
could use you.
You're listening to DJ Knuckle Dragger on
Oh, shit.
WCTR.
Yeah, he
You're
does.
right.
Yeah, I could use him. He could do my intros. Just
Right.
record a basic intro for my videos
Yeah.
and give you credit in the credits where credit is due.
I would need to get my broadcaster microphone up before I did that because I'm just using a cheap headset mic.
Right. Oh, my girlfriend recently sent me a text message today that kind of shocked me. She said, "What do you need to get Here's Your Mint running?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" Somebody actually interested in helping me build my production company? Because originally it was going to be tabletop gaming done as like TV shows. And then Geek and Sundry came around, and that's what fucking they do. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Geek and Sundry. I think they're amazing. That's where Critical Role came from. Now Critical Role has broken off from Geek and Sundry and has their own studio. And they're doing a lot of things that I wanted to do at first.
So what I've always thought that somebody could do is you have a session of like Dungeons and Dragons, and then you take it and you sort of throw it in an actual, like, either real life or animated sort of story.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Well, no, like each session has its own thing. Like you take a session, it's not like you do an entire campaign and then you animate the campaign. It's each session has its own little things. So like somebody rolls, and then they speak and they talk, and then it will cut to that little animated section where the action happens.
You know what show?
Back to the thing.
You know what show and I still want to do it. I called it LARP Out Loud because of LOL. And what it was you have a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons at a table. And some costumed LARPers have to act out what the people at the table do. The great part about it is the LARPers get to make fun of the players for their bad rolls.
That's funny.
The LARPers are totally there to harp on the people rolling dice because they have to act it out. So obviously they have a little bit of rights on that. But that's one show I wanted to do was LARP Out Loud. There was a couple of others. The first iteration of LARP Out Loud was a competition game show where you have two teams of LARPers and they have to go through some gauntlet of bad guys, traps, and whatever to get to the end. And whichever team got to the end either in less time if you don't do it simultaneously, because I don't have that much budget, or if I had a bigger budget, whoever got there first would be the winning team, and they would get like T-shirts and books and shit. But that, of course, you would have to get people who want to do it, like a game show. You'd have to actually get LARPers, and then they'd have to come to me, and big budget, big budget, big budget.
Mm.
So LARP Out Loud became a group of tabletoppers, a stable group of LARPers. Because it's easier to get that than it is to get different contestants every week or every other week.
Yeah, my original kind of concept was similar to what is it there? What is it? It was a movie, and I really like it. Darkness Rising.
Yes. Yep.
That's what I was kind of like. The concept is like each session you do one session, record the whole thing, and then you like either do it basically acted out, or you can animate it either way, and then you splice it.
Yeah.
So each like action has its own little thing, or you can like skip certain ones if it's like everybody's talking or like one person's doing this and then somebody interjects and says, "Oh, I do this." You can just like have those two they both say that sort of thing, and then you have the action.
Right. Yeah.
But it would also be funny if you like have somebody say, "Well, I do this," and then it shows them doing it, and then somebody says, "Oh, I do this to like stop him from doing that," and then it's that again, but somebody does something different. Just like, I cast fireball. Oh, I counterspell it.
Yep. But eventually, I mean, you know, whatever iteration that Here's Your Mint comes to, I would like it to actually be a thing. I've been working on it for over 20 years. And anybody who has ever said, "Yeah, I'll help you," is like that, that chicken with the bread story. Who will help me grow the wheat? Not I, said the pig. Not I, said the cow.
Oh, Little Red Hen.
Yeah, the little red hen. They all want. I'm the little red hen, and all my friends want to be in the productions, but they don't want to do the work of getting the company going. And what they don't realize is that I can't make them famous by myself. They want the glory and the fame and the, all of that. And
You just brought back
they-
flashbacks to a second grade play.
Yeah.
I did that play in second grade.
But I know some other groups like Rooster Teeth, who started out just playing video games. Like, we all get together and we play GTA and we play Crossout, and Space Engineers, Minecraft, that sort of stuff. And we think we're pretty funny. Who knows? Somebody else might get entertained by us, and we can build on that. I don't know. All I know is that I'm supposed to be the CEO of a short film production company for YouTube as of 20 years ago. And here I am 20 years later. I have some camera equipment, I have some sound equipment, but now I'm a DJ with no clients. So you kind of feel like a failure after 20 years of nothing. Mainly because everybody's like, "Yeah, I'll help you out. We can do this and we can do that. And it'd be so cool. That's great. Yeah. So tell me when you're ready." Like, technically I'm ready now, but I need this, 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 and this. Yeah, cool. Tell me when you got all that stuff. It would be great if you could help me out with that. Oh, I got work, or I got my girlfriend. That's pretty much what I've been dealing with. Some people have legitimate excuses. I don't have the time. Well, that's great. If you don't have the time to put into it, then you're not going to have the time to put into it once I get all the equipment.
All right, folks, I'm logging off for the night because I've got to get up in the morning.
No, just because you have kids to feed and shit.
Joys of being a mommy.
Yeah, they get up early, don't they?
Mm-hmm. For the sun.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Are you saying that the daughters get up first?
Mm-hmm.
That's a play on words.
All right. Night, guys.
Well,